I just watched Jordan's interview with Nick Viall on the Viall Files, and I was pretty surprised, actually. I felt like Jordan really took, at least ostensibly, accountability for all the stuff you would want a man in that situation to take accountability for. But I don't know if anyone else feels like this. Nick Viall rubs me the wrong way. I really didn't like how Jordan was sharing how much, he's been in therapy, him and Jesse have been working on things, blah, blah, blah. And Nick just doesn't seem able to drop this notion that Jordan should be performing more shame for him. He's doing these really in-depth interviews where he's often talking about really heavy stuff. And obviously he has a ton of influence, and, he's asking a lot of very deep emotional questions a lot of the time on his show. And presumably has done therapy, but just seems completely unaware of the fact that shame is corrosive. And even in this episode where Jordan is taking accountability, it's like Nick just needs him to be lambasting himself more. I don't use the word lambasting very often. I just think it's a little bit irresponsible given the nature of his job. Might be good for business, but I don't know. I just think it's unethical. I don't like it. Does anyone else feel this way? I did think the interview really humanized Jordan. I went in not thinking I would really care for him at all, but I'm as much as I think he sucked, maybe still does, I don't know. I really think that his and Jesse's story is a pretty common story, and sort of the gift of reality TV is that sometimes it can force people to become aware of things that they potentially would never become aware of if they weren't brought into such a massive light. I think awakening generally happens through grace, we're all the products of our genetics and experiences, sort of trying our best with the ways that we're wired. And I think in a weird way, reality TV has been this form of grace for Jordan and Jesse. Also, multiple times in the interview, Nick is really self-congratulatory and keeps talking about how he would never talk to a woman like that. He could never fathom being capable of treating a woman like that. And it's yeah, cool. Obviously what Jordan did wasn't good. We all know that. But no one would choose to be emotionally abusive, none of us choose our wiring. None of us choose to be emotionally immature or reactive or blah, 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 blah. At the end of the day, this is a person who's sitting in front of you, seemingly taking accountability. I don't know why Nick Viall has to keep weirdly bragging about himself. Not that it's a brag to not abuse women, but yeah, just strange. I don't like that energy, or my own energy.